The launch of Audi's most compact car, the A1, was considered a bit of a gamble by some, but the sales figures certainly prove otherwise, and it's the 5-door A1 Sportback that's proven to be the most successful version. It offers much of the visual appeal of the 3-door A1, but a lot more practicality, and if you opt for the S-Line version, then you get a fair amount of brio as well.
And brio is exactly what this flagship version of the A1 Sportback is all about. The S-Line designation tells part of the story and endows the A1 with cosmetic add-ons to express its sportier personality. This is a car that's been born to perform, especially in the absence of a true S model, and so the combination of a relatively powerful engine, a tauter and lower suspension, bigger wheels and beefier brakes all add up to a car that's focused specifically on driver involvement and athletic appeal. It looks the part too.
The A1 Sportback looks exactly like you'd expect, a scaled-down version of the A3 Sportback. It is, of course, narrower and smaller, but it certainly has that same Audi identity. The Sportback's 5-door configuration means that the extended roofline gives it a more conservative but also more balanced look. And in S-Line trim, it has a lot of visual appeal as well.
The S-Line package means the A1 Sportback gets a more aggressive front end with larger air intakes, cooling vents and a more pronounced grille. Extended sills and larger sportier wheels add to a stance that is lower and more purposeful than the standard car, while the rear view is augmented by a deeper dark-hued rear apron and twin exhausts. The rooftop spoiler suits the car's athletic intentions, while the black roof treatment adds a further racy touch. The overall impression is smart and sculpted, with just enough visual pep to set the S-Line apart from its peers without turning it into a Tupperware toy.
The A1's cabin is a masterpiece of design and packaging, proving that even small cars can be upmarket. There's an overriding aura of luxury, and the S-Line execution adds a nice sporty touch.
Those familiar with Audi interiors will feel instantly at home here. The execution is solid, allowing a persuasive sense of tactile quality, and even though this is Audi's smallest hatchback, the cabin never feels cramped. As the current A1 flagship, equipment levels are comprehensive and comfort levels high. Excellent seats, clearly arranged switchgear and ample adjustment scope ensure intuitive ergonomics. The Sportback's great attraction is the presence of the rear doors and an extended roofline, making access to the rear seats easier and improving rear accommodation too. The boot is modest though, and you have to make do with a space-saver spare wheel.
In standard 90 kilowatt trim, the A1 Sportback already feels eager enough, so you can imagine what this top-end engine does to the dynamics. It's still a 1400cc unit, but the turbocharger elevates power to 136 kilowatts, while the torque curve is nice and flat, maintaining 250 newton meters between 2,000 and 4,500 RPM. The compact mill is proof that small-capacity turbo engines can deliver the necessary shove and grunt to do the sporty demeanour of a car like this full justice. It revs to the red with enthusiasm, and its linear power delivery is devoid of any lag. The dual-clutch gearbox is a good match, with shift paddles making swapping cogs a swift and intuitive affair. The result is a zippy hatchback that's always fun to drive. With a power-to-weight ratio of 112 kilowatt per tonne, the nippy responses of this car don't come as a surprise. Throttle input is particularly crisp, and I also like the nice quick shifts of the S-tronic gearbox. The electric power steering is a little bit on the numb side, but in overall terms, the road manners are absolutely impeccable.
The chassis finds a good compromise between tautness and comfort, and that short wheelbase adds to the car's agility. Drive it with gusto, and the A1 responds with plenty of grip, while the cornering attitude is pleasantly neutral. pushed too hard into the tight, the A1 will respond with mild and manageable understeer, while straight-line stability at speed is impressive. Importantly, the brakes provide the necessary bite to balance out all that performance bravado.
The A1 Sportback S-Line adds four-door practicality to the smallest Audi's list of attributes. But it does keep the A1's character intact, and in S-Line form, it also has 136 kilowatts of power to play with. Compared to the somewhat quirkier Mini Cooper S, it's the more grown-up choice, but no less fun to drive as a result.
A zesty turbo engine and rapid shift dual-clutch gearbox provide the essentials for the involving and athletic dynamics the little Audi is capable of. It also looks the part, while the cabin lives up to Audi's upmarket reputation. However, that premium execution comes with a price to match.